Crackdown 3 was released a little while ago, and generally speaking, it hasn't been very well received. While I agree with many of the criticisms out there, there is still something about this game that's a tremendous amount of fun. Hey everyone, Tyler here with Gilded Reviews, and today I'm going to break down the best and worst things I found while playing Crackdown 3. I release these videos every so often and plan to pick up the pace, so if you enjoy the video, be sure to throw me a thumbs up, leave a comment, or consider subscribing. It really helps me out. I am assuming that everyone here knows what Crackdown 3 is. If not, it's kind of like Saints Row. This title features an open world with a focus on comic relief, orb hunting, and massive destruction. Anyhow, let's not waste any more time and jump into this list, starting with the things I really enjoyed about Crackdown 3. At number 5, and I really wanted to bring this up first, the addition of Terry Crews. This has done nothing but benefit the game. Every voice line of his is delivered with the same aggressive attitude that we have come to love from the Brooklyn Nine-Nine star. The game does offer multiple other agents as well, and collecting them can be a fun little side objective. Terry Crews, however, is the shining star that makes this game what it is, and without him, Crackdown 3 would not be as much fun. At number 4, we have the comic relief. This kind of falls in line with the addition of Terry Crews, but it extends through the entire game. From the truly impressive and very unrealistic explosions to the hilariously timed voice lines, you can tell this game does not take itself seriously, and that is a good thing. Moving on, at number 3, we have the combat. Now, as I said earlier, the real highlight here is the explosions. Many of the areas in this game are filled with explosives, and it just takes one well-placed shot to set off a pretty chaotic chain reaction. This isn't all the time, of course, but it happens a lot more frequently than you would think. The other part of this equation is the weapons that cause these explosions. From rapid-fire missiles to black hole grenades, Crackdown 3 has some impressive hardware. These weapons combined with the game's physics can make combat a truly enjoyable experience. Up at number 2, we have the agility orbs in Crackdown 3's leveling system. This is a very addictive part of this game. The increase is dramatic and it can make a huge difference in the gameplay. As your driving increases, you unlock new agency cars. When you increase your strength, you get new punch attacks and do more damage. Increasing your explosive damage will, well, increase your explosive damage. And the best of all, the agility orbs will increase your jump height, unlock double jump and air dash, making getting around the city increasingly more impressive each time you play. And my favorite thing about Crackdown 3, the driving. Now there is nothing special about the basic driving. AI from other cars is not impressive, and the streets feel rather bland compared to other games at this price. What is a crazy amount of fun is the agency vehicles, and more specifically the spider car. This car is amazing, and once you get used to how it handles, you can have a great time. I can't explain how much fun this is, but this combined with the agility orbs can make this game a very fun time waster. Now let's move on to the cons and talk about why this game may not be for you. At number 5, we have the rather generic story and bland graphics. I feel like these kind of go hand in hand, and neither of them really feel like they were a huge priority. The story is fairly generic, along with being rather forgettable. The graphics, I believe, were more of a design choice. This doesn't make them bad per se, but I don't think it was what people really wanted. You can decide yourself from gameplay video if it's something you would be interested in, but I could see how many people would take issue with it. Up at number 4, we have the limited replayability. Not much else to say here. Crackdown 3's replayability, especially after leveling up and completing the story, completely drops off. Moving on to number 3, we have the bugs. Now these are not terrible, but they can get pretty frustrating. I haven't ran into any game-breaking bugs, but the hilarity from getting my tires stuck in a wall is only funny so many times. That was the main issue I had, and I know this isn't a bug, but I also had some dramatic frame drops, along with some other minor mishaps. But overall, getting my tires stuck in the wall was the most frustrating technical issue I had. At number 2, we have the 30 FPS lock and limited co-op. So this was a big surprise to me, but the entire co-op multiplayer is locked down at 30 frames per second. The good news is this issue is supposed to be fixed soon, so I'm hoping this isn't a problem here within the next few weeks. Now, one thing I don't think is going to change is the fact that the co-op is only 2-player. This was a huge missed opportunity to me. Crackdown 3 is so much fun with a friend, and having more people would have made this game much more enjoyable. And the worst thing I found in Crackdown 3 was the shallow gameplay elements. This game had a lot of potential, but the lack of depth makes it really hard to get into. The leveling system system is great and offers some addictive elements to the game, but it would be a lot more enjoyable, at least for me, if it was influenced more by the player. Maybe some skill trees or weapon specialties to choose from. Really anything to customize the experience for each player. This doesn't make the game awful, but it does hold it back enough to make the price questionable. That concludes today's list. I have honestly had a great time playing this game, but I was really hoping for more. The price point is still pretty high for what you are getting, but on the plus side, if you purchase the Microsoft Game Pass, you get access to Crackdown 3 along with a few other Microsoft titles that might be worth a little time. I have done a review of this subscription service, and basically, it's worth picking up for a few months, but I don't recommend keeping it much longer than that, at least if you are using it on PC. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. I am planning on expanding my channel a bit and working more on Twitter, Reddit, and through the Steam curator service. If you are interested in supporting me through these other platforms, I will leave some links down in the description. Also, if you have the Microsoft Game Pass and want to play with some people, I am going to be getting a few groups together for Forza, Sea of Thieves, and a few other titles. Join us on Discord for more information.